You're listening to the Quint podcast.
The AstraZeneca vaccine developed by the University of Oxford has been paused by a number of countries in Europe after concerns of blood clotting arose. Countries including France, Germany, Italy, Spain, Portugal and Norway have put a halt for now and are examining the cases that have occurred. However, the World Health Organization as well as the European Union's vaccine regulators have played down the issue. They have highlighted two important points here. One, there is no indication that the vaccine is linked to an increased risk of blood clots. Two, the number of cases in vaccinated people was no higher than in the general population. In India, the Serum Institute of India is manufacturing the Oxford-AstraZeneca vaccine as Covishield, and 1.5 crore doses of it have already been administered. At a time when COVID-19 cases have seen a spike across India and the vaccination process is underway, a number of key questions have emerged. Why has this become an issue in the EU? Should India, which manufactures the same vaccine, be worried? And if people should continue to take the vaccine? The Quint spoke with Dr. Rahul Bhargav, Director and Head, Hematology and Bone Marrow Transplant at Fortis Memorial Research Institute in Gurugram. You're tuned into The Big Story, the podcast where we dissect the headline-making news for you, and I'm your host, Sushovan. 11th March onwards, over a dozen European countries have put a halt to the Oxford-AstraZeneca COVID vaccine, post reports of blood clotting in some vaccine recipients. There were also reports that a 50-year-old man had died in Italy after developing deep vein thrombosis or blood clotting following a dose of the jab. Meanwhile, AstraZeneca said on Sunday it was keeping the issue under close review, but that available evidence did not point to the vaccine as the cause for these concerns. So, are the incidents of blood clot in any way related to the AstraZeneca vaccines? My colleague Devina Bakshi spoke with Dr. Bhargav, who at the outset recommends caution but asserts that there is no need for panic.
So the thing is, one of my friends just got the vaccine. She's 38 years old and she got the vaccine and then she developed thrombosis in the abdomen.
Okay, she got thrombosis. Okay.
Now, when she developed that and when she was investigated, she was found to have a thrombophilia risk. Means there was an underlying high risk for thrombosis. She got the vaccine, whether it was precipitated or not, whether it was ongoing or not, nobody can actually ascertain that. But yes, she did had a problem. Okay. But this can be interpreted in two ways, that underlying problem with a high incidence of thrombophilia or a propensity for clotting was precipitated by a vaccine, or it could be interpreted that those people who are normal, there is a less likely chances for getting a thrombosis. So it means then you just have to keep yourself hydrated and so on and so forth. So thrombophilia or thrombosis or clotting, because people, once you say people are cardiovascular and diabetic, they're on aspirin either way around. So they are less likely to have that. So it is a very contagious issue right now. Nobody knows. People are trying to find out the reasons, whether it is really true or not. And there's a handful of people who have had a problem in India itself. But this should not lead to this should lead to a cautiousness, but not a panic situation.
WHO Director General Tedros Ghebreyesus has echoed the same assurances as Dr. Bhargav. At a press briefing on Monday 15th March, he stated, and I quote, "This does not necessarily mean these events are linked to vaccination, but it's a routine practice to investigate them, and it shows that the surveillance system works and that effective controls are in place," unquote. Dr. Bhargav here adds that beyond the 3 rounds of the trial, pharma companies also conduct a 4th round of surveillance once a vaccine is out in the market. This needs to be monitored carefully as millions of doses have already been given without any statistically significant complications.
Whenever the vaccine is put through into the market, They always have a phase 4 marketing surveillance. There any adverse effects have come after 1 year or not, up to 1 year or not. So there can always be problems which might be coming up, and this is not new that this could be one of the problems. If found, then it can lead to a suspension. But right now, the signals are not in that favor that it is the complication of the vaccine itself. So it is millions of doses has been given without any major complications. So I don't think so. We should be overtly worried. But yes, we need to be cautious. We need to interpret every new signal which comes up.
Ann Taylor, AstraZeneca's chief medical officer, echoed the same sentiment in a statement as well. She said, and I quote, "Around 17 million people in the EU and UK have now received our vaccine, and the number of cases of blood clots reported in this group is lower than the hundreds of cases that would be expected among the general population." Unquote. This brings us to the question, what about India? Is there any reason for Indians who have or are yet to take the vaccine to be particularly concerned?
Vaccination is already 2 months old, and people have received the second dose also. Majority has been given AstraZeneca only. So through your circles, you have to find out what are the number of doses given, total doses till now, from 16th January till 16th of March. What is the total number of doses given? What is the split between Covaxin and Covishield? And what are the side effects which is available in a Covishield in India? So you will lead the story that this is the scenario. This is what happened. These are the new signals which has started coming up in past 2 weeks. Even people have received after first 2 months. So this could be inherent to the batch, one. Second, it could just be the new problems which are coming up because it has been opened up to the general masses. Those people who developed thrombosis, that kind of a registry data needs to be maintained and seen whether it is contrary to the young people or the old people. So my friend was a 38-year-old doctor itself. So you see, you will be tempted to tell that, okay, Covishield is leading to a problem, but actually that might not be the truth, because in a Covishield trial up to only 55 years was included. 18 to 55 year age group was included. Beyond 55, it is now it is in now it is in the real world when beyond 55 people are getting up to 90 years of age. So not major side effects have occurred in those population, because we have not seen in our subset since 45 and 65 data has started since 1st of March till 16th March, we have not got any major signals.
Moreover, the decision to temporarily suspend the use of AstraZeneca's jab in European countries has come as a setback for a European vaccination campaign that has stuttered into life, partly due to the delays in delivery of the drug. This is important, as WHO Director General reminded on Monday that, and I quote, "the greatest threat that most countries face now is lack of access to vaccines," unquote. So the big question is, are the reasons enough for an Indian to not take the vaccine? Dr. Bhargav expresses surprise at the suspension as a hasty move that may have been influenced by factors apart from purely medical ones. He recommends that people continue the vaccination process.
So again, they have not given a justification. They have said suspended pending further data and investigation. The question contrary to that is, when 21 people in Norway died of Pfizer vaccine, did they suspend the vaccination? It didn't. So if I would have commanded the words and I have the liberty of writing it, I would have written it as the hegemony of the West against the poor, where people AstraZeneca is being delivered, and they are trying to have Pfizer and Moderna trying to push people to get more of their vaccine and make money. My categorical statement is, need not worry, need to see more data, more cautious. We need to see which is the bigger evil, COVID or the vaccine. And we think the bigger evil is COVID. So continue the vaccination. If there is any data which comes back, keep a hawkish eye on to every single person who gets a Covishield AstraZeneca vaccine. And if there's new signal which comes in, please take the appropriate action. Till that time, let's not spread rumors. Let's be objective in our assessment of a vaccine.
If you like listening to this podcast, please subscribe to the Big Story playlist for episodic updates. We are live on Apple, Google Podcast, Spotify, JioSaavn, and other popular podcast streaming platforms. For other podcasts, please log on to the Quint website and check out our podcast section. For any feedback, send an email to podcasts@thequint.com.